Hi, I'm Debbie, and I'm going to take you on a tour of some of the Axure prototype that I did for the Wells Fargo iPad app that was released in December 2012. So it's shrunk down on my screen a little bit, so some things may wrap a little bit funny, but if you know Axure, you know what I'm dealing with here. So if you have the Wells Fargo iPad app, and it's roughly around the time I'm recording this, it should look somewhat like this. Here on the home screen we've got ATMs and locations so that we can mock up the idea of people wanting to see a certain location. It turns green over here. I can expand this to see more information, less information. I can collapse the whole thing. So I can also pretend to sign on and do my banking. So we'll let that load up. This is a bit of a heavy page since there's a lot of variables and fun stuff lurking in the background here. So the idea is that we're using a split panel view in the iPad, and it's a native iPad app in this case. We can collapse the left side, though I didn't finish mocking this up. They only had me do portrait in the split view. So we've got our accounts over here, and I can move through accounts by clicking on them. And they slide in. We have a temporary fake loading screen which runs for 2 seconds. And you can also see the pagination changes here at the bottom. So this is account 2 of 7. If I jump down here to the line of credit, that's going to be account 6 of 7. And of course, like anything relating to an iPad, all these things scroll and move individually as if you were using an iPad. Now I'm in a web browser, so this may or may not look right, but we can of course scroll this panel individually, just like it would on an iPad, and it'll snap into place at the top or bottom when I let go. And then also, and I'll try to replicate this on my computer, this is a scrolling carousel. So if I quickly flip to the left, here we go, I get the next account, which in this case is mortgage. And at the point that I did the iPad app, there wasn't any messaging here, so some of this was to be determined. I can also flip back the other way, and I've got my line of credit. If I flip again, we'll get that credit card account. Here it comes. And then, of course, the brokerage account. So the idea is swiping left, swiping right for that iPad interaction. Here we also have an expandable section where in some cases you might have a credit card with multiple cards on the account, like for a business account. So again, what we had to do here was then we had to change the pagination, and I guess we being me in this case. So now this is account 5 of 9 instead of 5 of 7, since expanding this adds 2 more accounts. That also means I had to have the logic in here for if I swipe this way to go to the next business card rather than down to the line of credit. So there's a lot of variables happening behind the scenes to make this work correctly, and additionally with the pagination. So if I collapse this, okay, we'll bring it back here and we'll collapse it. You can see the pagination changes back to 7 dots. Also, we've got pop-ups all over the place for different messages we wanted to give people, like balances. Over here we've got some account disclosures, and then we've got some pop-ups. So the deposit check goes through the whole taking a picture to deposit a check, which I won't go through. But transfer and pay, all of these are mocked up, so I can say I want to transfer between my accounts. We've got a modal window that comes up, and we're going to go from this account to this account, and we've got our amount. We have a fake iPad keyboard showing up on the bottom. The idea was to replicate, obviously, the iPad experience. I'm just going to type in a number here and give it a reason. Continue. And so here we're confirming it, and then we are transferring it with our confirmation message, and we can close that modal window and it slides away and it comes back to refresh the accounts page. So that's just an example of some of the work I've done on the iPad app for Wells Fargo, which was done in Axure. I'm considered an Axure ninja, and I think this is some pretty amazing work. So if you need to see more of my Axure work, I do have other videos on my site, but this one was really, really incredibly complex, and I worked on it full-time for a couple of weeks, I would say, to really get in all of the different things. And some of the features you're not even seeing in this video. But this is the short version, so you can see some of my Axure work. And in this case, this one is also pretty pixel perfect. So thanks, and see you around my brassflowers.com website.